You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are talking about the daily examen. We've already heard about how simply experiencing something doesn't actually teach us anything, but how we need to make a practice of each day reflecting on what we have experienced. And St. Ignatius of Loyola created the daily examen as an easy tool for us to do just that. Yesterday, we heard the story of St. Ignatius of Loyola, who was a knight seeking only honor on the battlefield, but how through the stories of saints, he was inspired to live a true adventure following Jesus Christ. So let's talk about the daily examen. There are 5 steps to the daily examen, and they are very simple. So here are the 5 steps. Number 1, be aware that you are in God's presence. Number 2, think through your day and thank God for all the good things that came to you. Number 3 is to once again think through your day and recall all of the love that you experienced. Step number 4 is to think through your day again, but this time recall all of the ways that you failed God or you failed other people and the sins that you fell into, and to ask forgiveness for those things. And then the final step is to think about tomorrow and to ask God and His grace, the very gift of God Himself, to be with you for the needs that you face tomorrow. So we're going to talk through each of these slowly. We're going to talk through the first 2 today. So first of all, step number 1, coming into the presence of God, or more accurately, becoming aware that you are in God's presence. Now realize this, my friends, no matter where you go, even if you go and lock yourself in the bathroom and you're all alone, God is there. God exists everywhere, all the time. He is always present. So He's always with you, even when you feel totally alone or abandoned or the world seems very dark and hopeless. God is there. He is always there. We live most of our lives, however, either ignoring Him or trying to get away from Him. But to do the daily examen, you need to stop. You need to get rid of all of the distractions and remind yourself that you are in the presence of God. There are 2 ways that we can really do this. Number 1, you need to find the silence. Pope Emeritus, Pope Benedict, he used to say that God's primary language is silence, meaning God isn't going to scream over the noise. He's not going to come and stand in front of the television and wave His arms to try to get your attention. He wants you to be quiet so that you can hear His voice. So the first step of the daily examen is to be quiet. Now, the next way that we can truly enter into God's presence is to be aware that God is here and now. God is now. Now, our heads sometimes can get pulled into regrets of things that happened in the past, or we can be pulled into worries about what will come in the future. Now, God wants us to bring those troubles and those regrets to Him, but He wants to be with us now. So make sure that you just are aware of what is going on around you now. Look at the people, listen to their voices, try to be very present in what is going on now. Turn the distractions off around you, but also turn the distractions off inside of your head. So that is step 1. Be aware that you are in the presence of God. Step number 2 of the daily examen is to think through your day and make a list of all the things that you are grateful for. So I find it to be really helpful to make a list of 5 things that I am grateful for. Now, they can be really big things, but it's also a very beautiful thing to think of the small things that you are thankful for. Oh, I'm thankful that I didn't miss the bus this morning. I'm thankful for a hug from my mom. I'm thankful for those 5 minutes of quiet that I had. I'm thankful for a warm blanket. I'm thankful for a friend that I got to see. There are so many blessings in our life, and oftentimes we overlook them and we don't even pay attention to how blessed we are. So, step number 1, aware that you are in God's presence. Find the silence and that He is now. And step number 2, review your day, just the things that happened that day, and find 5 things that you are grateful for. So we are going to practice step number 2 right now. That is my challenge. I want you, whomever you are with, to list 5 things that you are grateful for that has happened within the last 24 hours. So if you're doing this in the morning, you can think all the way through yesterday. If you're doing this at night, just think through the day you've just lived. But what are 5 things that you truly are grateful for? That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. All week, we will be hearing about the daily Examen on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, and I want to encourage you that this is not just a beautiful practice for religious, but it is a wonderful practice for families as well. We just released our new book, The Family Examen, which will help you in a very beautiful way go through the daily Examen as a family each and every night. To find more and to get a direct link to purchase your own copy of The Family Examen, just check out the notes for this podcast episode.